The FORE starts now. Welcome to the FORE Show. I'm your host, Greg Pattison, in studio tonight with Joey Madrid, Dan Weller, and Mark Rajala. We're going to take a little bit here and do a kind of a continuation of our FORE on the FORE. Last time we did Callaway's Jailbreak Technology versus TaylorMade's Twist Face. Tonight we're going to do kind of some fun ones, get you laughing and, a little bit of good time with it. But we're going to do we'll stack them up this time. We're going to do a little FORE on the FORE squared, I guess, or whatever.
Dude, don't do math.
Well, don't do math. Yeah, I can't. I can't count any higher than 71. After that, that's where I stop.
Which I've never shot. Thank you very much.
So, all right. So if you take a listen to our previous episodes, if you haven't had a chance, but FORE on the FORE. The four of us get 1 minute to debate or discuss a topic. Please send your topics to me, Greg at theforeshow.com. That's GREG at theforeshow.com if you'd like us to discuss or debate yours. So we'll jump right into this tonight. We'll go, I'm going to cross over here. I'm going to go straight to Dan Weller. Caddyshack versus Tin Cup.
Caddyshack by a mile. Actually, I don't know. Caddyshack is just, that's one of those movies, no matter where I'm at, I'm going to stop and watch. And Tin Cup, that's a tough one. Honestly, they're like...
About how many times have you watched Caddyshack versus Tin Cup? I mean, both of them, both movies are good movies, are fun movies to watch. But how many times have you watched Caddyshack?
Well, I have to go Caddyshack, and here's why: the one-liners. It's like, oh, the good Lord will never possibly. I mean, think about it. It's like the lines from that movie. It's like, oh, it's just a baby Ruth. I mean, come on, those lines from that movie are just classics. You can't. I mean,
you didn't even quote Bill Murray one time just now, and he killed it.
Oh, I know. But that's the thing.
It's like he didn't even have a line in that movie. He was just supposed to be a non. He didn't have a non. He had a non-speaking part originally. They put the camera on him while he was just kind of doing stuff on the course, and it made it on the movie. That guy's unbelievable. Him and Chevy Chase, that scene when they're doing when they're smoking, he's just playing a quick nine and that was all ad lib. The whole thing was ad lib. For me that makes the movie. Tin Cup has its moments, but it's almost too much of a love story. Yeah. And then when he hits all those balls into the water, it's painful. As golfers, it's painful to watch.
In reality, that would never happen in Tin Cup.
Well, look at Sergio.
But we've all done it. We've all been
No.
there,
You're not going to say, give me another ball, give me another ball, give me another ball. No,
No, but the feeling, we've all been there where you're going to hit a shot and all of a sudden it's like,
time. I got to tell you, that's FORE on the FORE gone wild right there.
Spring break,
that's
boys.
That's what those movies did right there. We completely got out. I gave Dan a minute. I got, full on the massive debate discussion. Whoops. So I'll break it back. Joey, all right. Let's step back. What's your FORE on the FORE? No, that's fine. I think that was great.
Out of the two movies, we're still doing that? Oh, hands down Caddyshack. I mean, like he said, the one-liners, Chevy Chase and Bill Murray just steal the show. And then there's other supporting characters that just
$50 as a male's kid picks his nose. $100 as he eats it.
Yeah, because golf. I mean, that's what we do. We bet on everything. We're constantly gambling. I mean, we had an internal game going during the FORE ball, which it almost speaks to the actual. I mean,
you'll get nothing and like it.
It's a country club setting, but with guys that are normal like us that are just playing golf, and that's who
the Wayne Cervix of the
Selvics were. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just having a good time listening to music on the golf course.
Well, now we know.
Caddyshack.
It's one of those things that is if we played a drinking game with it. You can't watch Caddyshack and not quote anything, and you can't listen to somebody talk about Caddyshack and not put in your 2 cents worth.
Oh God, yeah.
That's the one segment we haven't been able to keep down. It's your turn, or not. Everybody else is there. So Raj, you Caddyshack or Tin Cup?
Definitely Caddyshack. There's the one-liners in that movie. about the pond. Pond is good for you.
Got a pool, a pond.
Yeah, I got a pool. I got a pond. The pond is good for you. Yeah, I mean, there's so many good one-liners in that movie. Tin Cup is more, maybe you want to take Tin Cup and match it up with Happy Gilmore. I don't know, but two love stories, I guess.
Nah, I think my dinghy's bigger than your boat.
Your boat scratched my anger.
And the music in Caddyshack, I mean, Kenny Loggins. Geez, man, it's a classic, and it'll always be there. Yeah, I think
it's for sure.
That whole scene where he's talking about being a looper in the Himalayas.
Dolly, big hitter the llama.
Yeah, so I jump ship in Hong Kong, make my way over to Tibet.
If I gotta watch one, I gotta go Tin Cup. I don't know. I'll tell you why, and I'm gonna take all kinds of grief for this one because this is an admit of all that I'm not gonna live down for a long time. I'm into chick flicks.
Oh.
And it pains me to say that, and I got to tell you. And the other thing with that is that I between watching the two movies, my wife would watch them, but if I got the time to sit down and watch a movie, I know she'll watch Tin Cup with me. And it's not necessarily a chick flick thing. It's just it's a movie that she's gotten into golf, that she's watched a little bit more, and it's just one of those things. But I'm gonna go with you guys on Caddyshack. I'm playing both here. I'm doing the unfair thing. I'm going both. There's no better golf movie than Caddyshack.
I guess he has
There's
this
no better,
right.
but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they're both good movies. Don't get me wrong; they're both definitely
Yeah.
good movies.
Absolutely.
Caddyshack, I prefer just because I liked it. I mean, it's funny constantly.
Sophomore
It's
humor.
you don't have to
You need
think.
it.
You don't have to think. Where
Yeah, absolutely.
Tin Cup goes a little bit deeper,
Yeah,
but it also has its
absolutely.
one-liners too.
Tin Cup
sure.
is a good movie, and I enjoy the movie until the end.
Yeah.
Where that is not a realistic. Somebody that is trying to make it to the pros and gets into the U.S. Open qualifier and qualifies to the U.S. Open, and then he dunks 12 balls in the pond. To me, that's the movie should never have done that, and it just ruined it for me at that time. So I didn't like that part.
And I think that's why they did it. As
It's-
golfers, we're watching it going, oh
yeah, I
my
know
God,
I
what
know
is
why
he
they did it,
doing,
but to me, it's just like, come on, man.
All right, that's there was no way. It's funny. That's hands down. We found our first topic that we couldn't do 4 minutes on, and nobody should.
Right.
Those are two great ones.
It's all over when
I
you
just,
go about
you know,
movies. But
whatever.
Tin Cup is the best when he walks by him and goes, I can hit that shot to Phil Mickelson. And
Oh yeah, that's the best. I got a ball right here.
And to the
Like, here you
walrus,
go.
I
Yeah,
can make that shot.
Here you go.
He just whispers.
I want to see this.
I can make
That's
that shot. So
I got 10-1 odds. That was pretty good. No warm up.
Yeah, but
you
how,
hit that shot, you're fired. My favorite part of that movie though is when he bets him that he could like the long drive or whatever, and then he takes a 7-iron and hits it down the street.
Still going.
there's definitely some good lines, when he's on the driving range at the U.S. Open and he's shanking it and shanking it and shanking it.
Who hit that shot?
I mean, there's a lot of laughter. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. But
That's Johnny Miller, man. Did you get his autograph?
Well, funny enough, with the CJ FORE ball.
I like when he takes the Tyler balls. Those are new Tyler. Hey, put some of those
Put
in
them
the
in the
bag.
bag. We might be able to pay for this fiasco.
Funny enough, at the CJ FORE ball last year at Common Grounds, I actually shanked one, and I did that number. Who did that? It's like, the guys next to us were dying. It was classic.
Chili dipped the wedge. Or when he snaps all his clubs. I fanned the 7. I fanned the 6.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I think we're getting a reversal on this. I think
We lost.
our team is moving more to Tin Cup
I
right
got
now.
it.
But
I gotta tell you anyway. But that's the beauty of those golf movies, man. They make us laugh, and
We love golf
we talked
movies.
Happy Gilmore, we'd be doing
love
it
golf
again.
movies.
So,
Right.
all right, maybe this one will help us catch our breaths a little bit. get us actually back on the 4 debate. I've heard this one go around a little bit lately, and actually somebody asked me on the green when I played this Tuesday night with a group. They asked me if I use a putting line and if I liked it on my ball. So why don't we let's do putting line versus no line. Are you a line? Do you like a line on your ball? Are you a no liner? What's your deal? So Sevy, we'll start with you because man, you putt your ball and we'll get to Weller in a second. So that's a whole different putt.
I didn't originally like it when I first started seeing it when I got back into the game like 5-6 years ago. But the more like when you play different courses, they have different speeds, and I found myself getting lost in the line and forgetting about the speed. And so when I decided to start doing the line, I felt like it took one thing out of the equation. I knew where I was lined up. Like I'm standing behind the ball, I'm looking at it, I see where it's going. Okay, cool. I got the line when I get over the top of the ball. Then all I got to do is all I have to worry about is speed. As long as I trust my line. If I miss the putt, I misread it. But as long as it's within 6 inches, hopefully it's for par, tap in par, effortless. So I'm definitely in favor of the line. For me, it just takes one thing out of the equation. Where I used to be a field player, but then you've got feel and you got speed. Where then I know where it's going. All I got to do is focus on speed.
I don't think I've ever played golf with a better putter than Weller. You always look like everybody has what they're comfortable at, but you just like, no problem. You just look up, no problem. I got it. Like no matter where you're at, 90 feet, 2 feet. You never look like it. He's always like, I got it going in. So anyway, Dan Weller, it's your minute on the 4.
Well, thank you very much for the compliment. But honestly, for me, I am definitely not a line guy. For me, the whole thing on golf is about feel. And I don't want anything cluttering my mind. And putting a line down, for me, clutters my mind. And I remember one time I played in a Pro-Am with Bubba over at, and we were at Legacy Ridge on the very first hole. And I put my ball down, and he's like, put the line down, line it up. I said, no, just let me putt. He's like, no, you got to line it up. No, and I rolled. It's like probably a 15, 16 footer, and I just drained it, right in the heart. And he's like, he looked over at me and said, don't put the line down. So it was like, I mean, for me, it's definitely, putting's always been about feel and just confidence. Definitely confidence. Every time I get on a green, it doesn't matter if I'm 100 feet away or from 10 feet away. I think I'm going to make that putt regardless. And I don't care if I roll it 4 feet by, 5 feet by. I feel that confident in my putting stroke, and I think most golfers, if they didn't stress so much about getting the line just right, because like you were saying, Joey, there's just too many factors, speed of the green, how much break, based on how hard you hit it. I mean, because how many times do we we'll play in a tournament with each other and we say, this is a speed putt, you got to get this, it's like, granted, that's always in your mind, but for me, I think it's most definitely all about confidence.
What's your handicap? Well,
it's
because he has to make all those 10 and 12 and 15 footers.
When you're not in the green in regulation, you have to have something.
All right, Raj, it's your shot. It's your shot here, Raj.
I put a mark on the ball, but I line it up sometimes. I don't line it up. It depends on how I feel that day. I improved my putting because of Dan. I watched Dan putt over the years, and I see what he does, and I've become the same way. I don't really care if there's a line or not a line. If I feel the speed of the greens, then that's how I putt. It's about feel. It's not about what you line up. And to me, lining up it takes pace of play. It's just too long. And I see people putting that line down, trying to make it right, and then they come down, put it down a little more.
Greg. Excuse me. Nice. Sorry.
What? What is
I thought I was saying that internally. I thought I was saying that to myself. I'm sorry. I think these microphones can pick up what I'm thinking.
Yeah. since it's my turn and I just got outed here, I'm a line on the ball kind of guy, and I've tried it. I use a line now. From time to time, I'll switch and I'll try to look at like some mark on the ball, like a number on the ball, and try to use something to give me a visual to keep my head still, and try some different things, or I'll just see nothing. Like I know Jordan Spieth doesn't want to see anything when he putts, and other people are firm about having the line. I do with you, Raj. You're kind of inching it down here, and I get it. Do I have it just right? And I really wish I was a better field putter, but right now I'm actually working on the line. I mean, you guys see some stuff here in the studio. I got my aiming stuff out, but I think it's a preference. But I'm going to agree with anybody that I've seen that rolls it with feel. I don't think they ever put the line on the ball. I mean, they're always just they put the ball down and they're ready to go, just rolling it. There's other factors into doing it. So I think it's whatever makes you feel the best on the ball. I was going to ask you, Dan, what's the takeaway? I mean, if you could tell somebody who's having to struggle with their putting or anything like that, what's the one thing that you would pass on if you were giving somebody a putting lesson that said, hey, do this and you'll have a better round?
For me, I would say, take any tension out. You want such a nice flow on your putter. And, we've all seen people that putt and you take the putter back and it can go right. It can go, inside. And, it's all about getting it back, good contact at the ball. But I think just staying relaxed, staying loose, and not overthinking it. You know how it is with golf. You get your brain involved, and sometimes everything goes south.
It's almost become a crutch for me. Like if I don't have a line on the ball, I feel weird. Like because I'll practice. Like when I warm up, I just go and start rolling putts and just kind of line it up and hit. But then when I get on the course, it's like I said, it's almost where I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about the line. Like I get the line. I mean, there's times where I get over the ball, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm aiming way left. And I'm like, well, I'll just go against the grain a little bit because I can see where I'm aiming. I can see where the ball's aiming. I can kind of go, okay, well, I think it's going to break a little bit more. So then I'll kind of adjust it, which can mess me up, and sometimes it works out. But
well, I'm not going to argue with the club champ, but
exactly.
I am.
But beat a club champ.
It's either you can read a green or you can't.
Right.
And it's with the grain against the grain. And I think, like you were saying, and Dan was saying, it just gets in your head, and you get too much overflow, and then your tension and stress gets in, and there you go. You're not going to hit it.
Free it up. That's what they say.
Yep.
Right. It says just free yourself up. All right. Music. No music on the golf course.
Rock on.
Let's go. We'll go back to Raj. Here, let's start. Raj, we'll start with you this time.
I'm a music guy. I'll always be a music guy, and you get, my buddy over here, Dan. We get out on the course, and he'll put his Roger Clyne on, or I'll, try to get my country western in there. But I don't think that ever,
Nobody
I don't think I managed to get that in my.
One thing I don't like.
But the thing is, my classic stuff, Boston radio. Oh yeah, I just love that stuff.
Oldies.
Oh yeah.
Glenn Miller band.
Yeah, Glenn Miller. No.
Oldies.
Who's that?
Oldies for Raj.
Lawrence Welk show?
No. Listen, I'm a music guy, but I play with so many guys that it just stresses them out. And one thing you have to do is make sure they're comfortable with it. If they're not, you make sure you ask them.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree with that.
Dano.
My turn. Nice. Definitely music guy. I think what it really does for me, it loosens me up and just makes the round that much more enjoyable. But I think the other thing, and we've kind of talked about this before, when you have the music going on in the background, you tend to not focus so much that if a noise comes from somewhere else, someone honks a horn, someone shuts a door, someone hits the brakes on their cart, you tend not to even you block that stuff out because you've got something going that it just it's like people sleep with white noise machines or things like that. Just it kind of relaxes them, and that's what it does for me. granted, you're going to have your people, your purists that are like, no, I don't want anything on the course. I've definitely played, there's one guy that will play, and every now and then if he happens to get in a cart with me and his initials are TA, he will like turn it down. Can you turn that down the next hole? Can you turn that down a little bit more? And by about the fourth hole, the stereo goes off or the speaker goes off because I can't hear it anymore. So, I definitely understand both ways. So I will always ask the group that I'm in before I go out, say, hey, do you guys mind music? If not, great. And I'll even offer up what do you like to hear?
Right.
So.
Any requests?
Yeah, but then
any requests?
But then but then Dan starts singing. So what do you want? Music?
Yeah, makes it worse.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, we'll take music every time. All right, Joey.
Oh, music, most definitely. I mean, it's like Dan was saying, it kind of takes some noise out that that might be happening, horns honking, dogs barking, construction going on or something nearby. But it also just kind of relaxes you, kind of puts you at ease a little bit. It just kind of mellows you out a little bit when you have that music going on. Like I'll sing with the music in my head. I mean, sometimes I sing it out loud. I don't know. I mean, I talk out loud during podcasts on accident, and I don't mean to. But even when there's not music, if I'm playing in a tournament where you can't have music, I'm singing whatever song I'm listening to on the way to the golf course. That song stays in my head,
Usually
and I just
Miley
sing the
Cyrus,
hook.
right?
I sing the hook over and over and over. No,
You seem to hook. I'm not listening to that song.
Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus? Can't remember.
It's more.
We're not debating those two ever on this show.
It's more the girl from Titanic that sang that Titanic song.
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion. Yeah. The heart will go on. That's all I think of.
I admitted I was into
Nice.
chick flicks. And
So
you brought
chick
Celine
flicks,
Dion.
now we got Celine Dion.
Dear
Oh
Lord.
man, what's next? What is next? Spritzer
so-
versus.
Yeah, sprints. So, and it's funny, and I'm with Raj. I listen to everything on the golf course. I'm a music on the golf course guy, and except for country western. Like there's a few songs like Alan Jackson I could deal with or whatever, but I'm just not a guy. But I can go Neil Young radio all the way across it. And the other night Joey had on some
Gangster rap.
Yeah, gangster rap. And I'm in fairway and one, right? We're walking, and I hear Bone Thugs in a Harmony.
It's the first of the month. Yeah.
First of the month.
Wake up.
I was like,
Oh, dude.
and I was like, I got this, baby.
That's some good melodies.
Smooth my wedge right in there.
Right.
So, but I think anything that brings people to the golf course and helps them relax and enjoy their time out there and away from all the stress, I think it's a great thing. So I'm a FORE music fan. I'm not so sure. I know, Raj, you've had some challenges, with friends and family, in Wisconsin. I've had some challenges in Ohio. Maybe it's just not making its way across the thing, because when I played with friends in Ohio, they're like, hey, music on the golf course doesn't happen here. And maybe it does. Maybe I was just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. They're a little bit older group that I played with. But still, it was different. So I'm for music, especially gangster rap.
Either gangster rap or reggae.
Bones Thugs and Harmony wouldn't call
Yeah.
gangster rap necessarily.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you
you hit a good
It's
point.
definitely gangster rap.
Listeners
or reggae too. It kind of mellows you out.
Yeah.
And relaxes you.
I mean,
yeah.
Well,
That's
what
the point.
goes hand in hand with reggae? Oh wait, no.
Yeah,
Well, we are in Colorado. It's legal.
We're in Colorado, that's
so
right.
absolutely.
I'm not saying we partake.
All right.
But
No.
All right. It's that time of year again. The FORE Team is playing in the 2018 Heaven and Heck Golf Tournament at Walnut Creek Golf Preserve in Westminster, Colorado, June 23rd and 24th. Brian Carlson and his team do a fantastic job every year putting on this event, and we always get great stories. So I thought I'd close this show with a great story from last year involving Mark Rajala, whom we should now call Bo Duke. Find us at theforeshow.com or take us on the go by downloading the Stitcher app. Stitcher, welcome to the spoken word. And remember, to find your best ball flight today, go to gottgolf.com, G-O-T-T golf.com. If you have a question or would like us to debate your topic, send your email to greg@theforeshow.com. That's G-R-E-G @theforeshow.com.
I was told to go, pick up a ball, and I didn't see the bunker. I went Dukes of Hazzard over it.
So we're on the tee box on 9. This is on number 9 at Walnut, and we're on the tee box. It's me and Jeff Ashley, Baca, and Brian Kenny, and I think it's Dan, Eric, Raj, and Lenny in front of us. And all of a sudden, like, we're getting ready to hit because we're playing. It's on Heaven Day, and we're on the Reds. So it was the Reds then. I think 5 now at the course, and so we're waiting to hit because we can, pretty much get on the green. And all of a sudden, we see Raj coming back, because they just hit their approach shots, and we see Raj coming back, and all of a sudden, he's aiming right for that bunker. And you see him hit the bunker, and he probably jumps out of the seat. His head kind of hits the top of the cart. And he Dukes of Hazzards it down the bunker and jumps out and peels out when he hits the fairway. Jumps out and just throws both hands up in the air. You could tell he was just completely out of it. We were just like, what in the hell just happened? Like, what was he doing?
I heard it. I mean, because I was getting ready to hit my shot,
God.
and he disappeared from me, and then all of a sudden I just heard this kaboom. I was like, what?
Oh, he's lucky the bunker
listen,
kind of
listen.
was like a ramp. Cause
Listen, when on number 9 at Walnut Creek, you're on the right side of the fairway. You don't see that bunker from that side, and I was going full blower, boom, over the bunker. And, Dukes of Hazzard, man, it was perfect landing, get out. Yeah, it was something to celebrate.
For Mark Rajala, Dan Weller, and Joey Madrid, I'm your host, Greg Pattison. You just listened to The FORE.